Hello, and welcome to this series of videos to help you get set up with your Prodsmart trial. Over the course of these videos, we will take you through every aspect of the product to ensure you have everything in place to allow you to capture and view your production and fabrication data, both for the management web interface and the mobile app. The first few videos will be a getting started guide, with a brief overview of the product, giving you enough information to get the basics set up. Then the following videos will go into more depth on each area and workflow, so let's get started. The very first step is to create an account for your Prodsmart trial. Do this by going to app.prodsmart.com in a web browser, then selecting Create an Account. Once you've filled in your information and made an account, log in to view the homepage. First of all, we will have a look at the layout of the management web interface accessed in your web browser. The management interface is where everything is set up for the product, so all operations, workers, machines, etc., which will then be used for tracking work through the mobile app on the shop floor. These are all accessible by selecting each group from the management drop-down list on the left-hand side menu. You can use the arrows to expand and collapse these groups to view or hide what is within them. Towards the top of this panel, we also have the dashboard, analytics, and reports pages. The dashboard is the default homepage of the management interface, which can also be accessed by selecting the Prodsmart icon at the top of the list. From these three pages, you'll be able to view data on your production once it has been captured through the mobile app, and to check the status of your jobs or look at historical data of completed work. For now, these will be empty of any data because we have yet to capture any. Along the top of the page, there are a few more options. The first is Chat, from which you can directly message other people in your team through Prodsmart, as well as creating channels to message groups of people. Click on the chat icon to open and close this feature. The next icon along is the smartphone simulator. Selecting this will raise a smartphone image which will preview what will be viewed in the Prodsmart mobile app, dependent on what you have created in the management interface. Select the power icon on the phone to close this preview. Then we have the help icon with a number of interactive help options to guide you through how to set certain items up, which will also be covered in these videos, and links to articles to also guide you through all aspects of the product in more detail. These articles are very useful resources to provide help in your own time outside of these videos. Another very powerful tool for help can be found in the bottom right of the screen, which is a chat function, directly with our support team who will be on hand to help guide you with any questions or issues. Simply enter a question into here and somebody will get back to you as quickly as possible. Finally, in the top right of the screen, you have your profile options, where you can view your billing and integrations, profile information, and log out when you are finished with your session. Now you're familiar with the management interface layout, the final thing to do to get started is to install and set up the mobile app to be used on devices and by workers on the shop floor. Simply search on your device's app store for Prodsmart and install this on all necessary devices which workers will be using to enter production data. We'll cover in a later video how to give different people various levels of access to this system. You've now got everything in place to start adding information and creating items in the management interface of Prodsmart. In the next video, we'll cover which are the key pieces of information to create and the order in which to do these. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Now that you know how to navigate the Prodsmart management interface, it's time to start populating it with the necessary information. There are many items which you can create and set up here, but not all of them are crucial. However, some are, and so is the order in which you create them. Production orders are the main item in Prodsmart. A production order is an order to produce a certain quantity of a given product, essentially the overall job, and are what contain and control the production work which is carried out and therefore tracked by Prodsmart. To create a production order, you first must define some other items. Workers are the first thing that needs to be defined. A worker is an individual who performs activities related to production or inventory management. and all workers who perform these activities must be included. Workers are anyone who will be interacting with the mobile app, whether that be on the shop floor, in the warehouse, or any other stage when production and fabrication data will need to be tracked. Adding a worker can be done by selecting workers from the side menu on the left. From here, you can select Add Worker and fill in the relevant information for each. At the top of this page are the required input fields, which you'll need to fill in to create a worker. And below these is an expandable box for the optional advanced fields, which can be filled in if you would like to include more information. You will see this same layout when creating most items in Prodsmart. With workers defined, the next step is then to create products. Products can be thought of as an individual component or the full assembly of a finished product. They consist of a series of operations through which a raw material goes to produce the end product. Access the Products page from the side menu and select Add Product, filling out the relevant information. We'll also look at the details of creating a product in a more specific video later on. Once a product has been created, the operations needed to manufacture this product must be defined. The operations are all the steps which workers will take to complete the work, similar to what you might have on your existing paper traveller or work instructions. Again, operations are found on the side menu, and the Add Operation icon is used to create them. On this page, you must then select which product the operation is for, which is why we needed to create this beforehand. Like with the other items, this page is then used to fill in all other required information, the specifics of which we'll also cover in another video. With the workers, products, and related operations defined, you will now have the minimum required information needed to create a production order. Much more information can be defined if you choose, but these three must be set up first to do so. The most useful of the optional items to create are machines, which if you intend to track your production on a machine or equipment basis will be key. However, not mandatory for everyone. Machines can be linked to operations to specify how and where they should be completed. Production orders are found at the top of the management list. Select this and then add production order to open the Create Production Order form. In here, you must then select the product and workers which we have defined beforehand. You must also input the quantity ordered, the start and due dates, and a code, which is the given name for the production order. If you would like for the production order to be available to workers instantly, you must also set it as active. There are further optional fields which can be included, but these are the minimum required to create the production order. With the production order now in place, the relevant information will display in the mobile app. You can check this by opening the mobile app or the smartphone simulator. Here you'll see an option for Insert Production. Select this and you'll be prompted to enter a worker ID, which is a unique number assigned when creating a worker. After entering the ID, you will see the list of active production orders, which have been assigned to that worker. After selecting one of the products within there that have been assigned, they can select the operations to work on. If a worker is not intended to be carrying out operations on a product, they will not see these as an option, and will only be able to view those which have been assigned to them, either directly or by being part of an assigned worker group. With the relevant product and operation selected, a message will show stating production started, meaning this operation will now show as in progress. At this point, the worker can close the mobile device and carry out the operation on the factory or warehouse floor. With work now in progress, the management interface will provide some data on the production through the dashboard. We'll have a look at how to use the dashboard and check the status of your production in the next video. In this video, we will have a look at how to track the status of your jobs once everything has been set up in the management interface and production is both in progress and completed. Viewing the dashboard, if a worker has used a mobile app to set an operation as in progress, this will be shown in the working field, which will be displayed in green, with the number of workers currently active. If no operations have yet been set as completed, then OEE, which stands for Overall Equipment Effectiveness, and productivity indicators on your dashboard will still be shown as blank. The OEE value is comprised of the other three indicators, and quantifies how far a factory is from optimal performance. The other three indicators are productivity, which is the percentage of time that each work center, which means worker, machine or operation, has worked compared to the optimal value it is designed to. There is availability, which represents the percentage of time that a piece of equipment ran for compared to how long it was scheduled. And there is quality, which is the percentage of good units produced out of the total completed. These indicators will not all show a value until an operation has been input as completed. To do this, open the mobile app and again go to Insert Production. After entering the worker ID, rather than being presented with the list of production orders like before, if a worker has started production on an operation, they will now instead be asked to enter the quantity which they have produced. Enter this number and confirm the input is for the correct product and operation, and this production will be inserted, with the message confirming the data submission and displaying the productivity level for that operation. Now the dashboard will update to reflect this production being completed. You will see that the productivity and OEE indicators will now show values, and the availability and quantity indicators may update also. In the top left of the dashboard is the feeds section, where a message will appear to log the event. This feeds area will show the latest activities which have been inserted through the mobile app, timestamped with the name of workers, so that you can view up-to-date information on who's worked on what. Towards the bottom of the dashboard, you can also see information on the latest ongoing and finished production orders. As well as viewing the status of production orders from the dashboard, you can also see this on the production orders page itself. In here, with the production order started, you will see two progress bars. The larger one is the performed operations progress, which represents the percentage of mandatory operations completed in the production order. The smaller bar is units finished, which represents the percentage of ordered products which have had all operations completed on them. These progress bars are also color-coded. Green indicates a production order is completed. Blue indicates it has not been completed, but the due date has not yet been reached, and red indicates it has not been completed and that the due date is already in the past. Another method for viewing information on completed work is with the reports. At the top of the screen, you can select which type of report you want to create. By default, this will be on productions, which will list all production records. You can also select to create a production order report and many other types. Each report is based on a given time span, which can be defined towards the top. You can also then choose to apply further filters from the list. Once you have set your options, select Generate Report at the bottom of the page, and a new window will open with your chosen report. We will have a closer look at how to interpret these reports in a later video, but you can see that data is provided on a number of criteria. As well as viewing this information within Prodsmart, you can export the report in an Excel or PDF format from the top left of the reports page. This concludes the Getting Started section of this video series. We have had a quick tour of the Prodsmart management interface, seen what the initial items are and which must be set up, and how to track the progress of production once these items have been defined and are being used by workers through the mobile app. You should now have enough basic information to get started, but there is a lot more to cover to get a full understanding of Prodsmart. In the rest of the videos, we will have a closer look at exactly how to create the items we have already seen, as well as other optional items.